What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick Kakis, and today we're doing a tier list. I want to go over all of the different Season of the Risen weapons added to Destiny 2 at the same time the Witch Queen came out, because a lot of these weapons are pretty impactful, especially their origin trait, Land Tank, giving you extra resilience and damage resistance is really good in PvE specifically. I mean, in PvP too, just getting the extra resilience could matter there as well. So instead of ranking them from worst to best, as I would normally do, I decided to again do a tier list. So if you guys like the tier list format, if you want to see more for stuff like raid weapons and so on, let me know, and also help this video out. If you share this video, if it does well, obviously I will make more. So let's just jump right into it with the first weapon here. By the way, all of the weapons you can see here, they're acquirable through things like PsiOps missions, ranking up your PsiOps rank and then unlocking them specifically in the helm, and importantly, all of them are craftable. For a lot of them, you will have to unlock 5 different deep sight versions of that weapon, like the first weapon, the auto rifle, so it is a bit of a grind. However, you can eventually guarantee yourself the god roll, which is pretty cool. So again, the first weapon here is actually going to be the Sweet Sorrow auto rifle. Now, where does this go? Well, taking a look at it at light.gg here, it is a 720 rounds per minute rapid fire frame auto. And the perk selection is actually pretty decent. I mean, you've got stuff like, in the first one, stats for all is not bad, autoloading's okay, triple tap is okay. Really the combo I think though is stats for all. So you hit 3 enemies, you get a bonus to handling, stability, reload, all that. And you just combine that with 1 for all, right? Where if you hit 3 enemies, you get a big damage bonus. So you've got a really fast shooting auto rifle, really easy to just spray down 3 enemies in PvE. You get a huge increase to your stats and you get a huge increase to your damage. Again, that is a wombo combo, like, for sure. Now, in terms of other good perks, I mean, Demolitionist is obviously good. I wish it was in this first column, so you can do a few more things with it. In PvP, you're probably going for Killing Wind or Perpetual Motion, combined with, tap the trigger for that increase to accuracy. I'm not sure Focus Fury is going to be that good in really either aspect of the game with this weapon, like hitting half of the magazine. That's actually quite a lot of precision, and it doesn't always have the best stability. So overall, this is a very solid weapon. I'm going to give it an A tier. I don't think it belongs in the Omega S Plus God tier, but when you do get that stats for all, 1 for all combo going, it's very good. I think the main thing holding this weapon back is just the fact that it's Arc, right? When Arc 3.0 comes later in the year, this could be one of the best primaries to use in the game for making Arc elemental wells and so on. So this is something where you want to future-proof yourself and get one of these sooner rather than later. Okay, moving on from there, we're getting the Under Your Skin bow. Where does this go? Well, this is a precision frame weapon, so it is one of the bows with a longer draw time, and taking a look at these perks here, they're kind of interesting. This is a real thunker, honestly. You gotta thunk about this one, because, so, first of all, it's Void. And that can't be ignored, because it means that it's gonna produce Void Elemental Orbs. It's gonna work with your volatile rounds, right? It is going to do a lot of very important, it's gonna get the Font of Might bonus. It's gonna do a lot of things in a Void build, and who isn't running Void 3.0 right now? It's the new hotness, and it's very good. So that's a huge point up for it. And in terms of the perks in that first slot, Archer's Tempo is fantastic. And remember, the craftable version is actually good. The enhanced version of Archer's Tempo, most enhanced perks are a scam and they're not worth it. Enhanced Archer's Tempo literally just makes the bonus last for longer, and so that is actually good. And then in that second slot, I mean, you can get stuff like Explosive Head, and just Archer's Tempo plus Explosive Head is the PvE wombo that you're looking for a lot of the time. Remember, also, bows are anti-barrier weapons right now, so definitely just enhanced Archer's Tempo. I mean, you could go enhanced Explosive Head, but I think it increases the accuracy or something pretty minor. But just enhanced Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head, that is an incredibly solid PvE PvE role, and we haven't seen a void weapon with explosive head on it since the Subtle Calamity. I don't know if you guys remember that one. Oh, geez! Let me know in the chat if you guys remember the Subtle Calamity. But in terms of, you know, PvP, maybe you can have Perpetual Motion, you can have stuff like Successful Warm-Up could really get you shooting pretty fast. And let's not forget, it also has the new perk Adaptive Munitions, which is going to, I mean, if you are taking this in to a Grandmaster to use it against barriers, Adaptive Munitions is going to also help it change, you know, elements against certain enemies. Like, it's going to be really good in a match game environment, which a Grandmaster is. So it has a lot of things going for it. A lot of things going for it. Where do I rank it? Oh, man. I think, honestly, normally, I'd put it there. If this was any other season, I'd put it in the B tier. It's a good weapon. It's a solid weapon. I think the precision frames, though, just they don't feel as good to use to me compared to the lightweights. But because I'm making this video right now in Season of the Risen, I think it has to go there. I think it has to go there because it's void, right? It has too many synergies to ignore, and because bows are a featured weapon, they're an anti-champion weapon. So for this season, it goes here. I think right after this season, it drops down to a B tier. So, being honest with you guys. Okay! Then we've got the Recurrent Impact Machine Gun. Where the heck does this thing go? Well, taking a look at the perks, it's a 900 rounds per minute rapid fire frame weapon. So, the perks are not bad. Like, honestly, subsistence for a machine gun is really, really good. Like, just being able to constantly get ammo back in the magazine. Because it's a machine gun, it's hitting pretty hard, so it doesn't take a lot of shots to kill an enemy, so you're often getting, like, every single shot you use to kill an enemy, you're getting that back with subsistence. That is pretty darn good. It also has stuff like stats for all, and it also has field prep, which again is pretty darn good. Just having more reserve ammo, especially for a heavy weapon, can be very useful. In the other category, guys, I mean, we've got firing line, which is going to give you a massive 20% precision damage increase if enemies are nearby. It's stasis, so it has headstone. Like, you can literally use this machine gun and just be spraying it across enemies, turning everyone into stasis crystals. It's also got one for all, which of course, again, is really easy to trigger with a 900 RPM machine gun. Frenzy's not even that bad. I don't think Focus Fury is what you want here, but it's got a lot of good perks. The problem is that it's a 900 RPM machine gun, and I don't think it has a place in the game right now, because what do machine guns do? And this is from Bungie's own mouth. They said, machine guns are good for ad clearing. Why do I need to take up my heavy slot with the Recurrent Impact when I could use a funnel web with volatile rounds? I mean, like, honestly, like, a funnel web with volatile rounds is going to clear out ads just as well, if not better, than your heavy machine gun right here. Even with the Goddard, even with, like, subsistence one for all, it's like I can do things with my build, either with, again, the funnel webs and stuff like that, some of the top tier primaries, an exotic primary are slaying out right now, stuff like, the Shocky bow. What the heck is it called? You know what I'm talking about. The bow that you hit and it shocks everyone. The Trinity Ghoul. The Trinity Ghoul is going to clear ads so fast. Why do I need to take up my heavy slot to clear out ads, right? If I'm playing a Warlock, I just charge up a Vortex Grenade and it sucks people from the next dimension in and kills them. There's no chance they're surviving. And so there's just no purpose to this gun. I can't give it trash. I don't know. It kind of is trash. Like, no one's going to use this thing. No one's going to use this thing. I'm putting it in trash. I'm putting it in trash not because of its own fault, just because machine guns have no place in the meta right now, and there's just no reason to use this. Any purpose you're using this for, you can use other stuff, more efficient stuff, and then use your heavy for damage output. Hopefully, Bungie buffs some stuff, because the gun actually does have good perks. So if machine guns got it buffed, I could see it rise up to like C tier, even B tier. But right now, with the meta, it's trash. It's just no reason to use it. And in PvP, who's going to use it in PvP? Who's going to use it in PvP? You can get a guaranteed kill with a rocket launcher. Why use that? Anyways, moving on from there, we have the explosive personality, the grenade launcher. Okay, now this is something. So this is going to be a solar wave frame grenade launcher. And these perks are very, very good. So we've got stuff like even threat detector. The craftable version has threat detector early, and I've been really liking threat detector. You are surrounded quite a lot. You're in close proximity in PvE quite a lot, and having that faster reload, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You're going to have to reload after every single shot, right? Field prep, I don't really think you need. Feeding Frenzy, same kind of spiel as threat detector. Feeding Frenzy, you're getting easy kills, you're reloading faster and faster and faster. Pretty darn good. Autoloading. Oh! Who doesn't love a grenade launcher with autoloading? The autoloading is just saucy, delectable. Autoloading is amazing. And in the second slot, we have stuff like Disruption Break, Unrelenting I've really been liking with this thing. You know, you're going to get kills on red bars with it base level. You don't necessarily need a damage increase. And so Unrelenting giving you that easy health back, because how are you not getting multi-kills with a wave frame grenade launcher? I found this to be quite good. Frenzy is perfect with autoloading. I think if you're going to go for autoloading, you want autoloading Frenzy, because if your whole plan is to shoot, do other stuff, and then whip it out, it's autoloaded, shoot again, Frenzy is going to trigger in the background, right? Like Frenzy triggers and will be active as soon as you take the weapon out because you've been getting shot and doing damage. So those work together really, really well. Golden Tricorn, it's all right. Like, you know, it's going to give you a damage buff. I don't like Turnabout that much. And then One For All, obviously, if you're going like One For All plus Threat Detector plus Feeding Frenzy, you're using it very offensively. Very, very good as well. Not to mention, like, just Land Tank with this thing, it's so easy to trigger Land Tank. This weapon, right, the Explosive Personality, being a wave frame grenade launcher, every time you shoot it, you get like 2 kills. Right? It's very easy to get multi-kills. Whereas even the Sweet Sorrow and the bow and all this other stuff, you know, you have to kill one enemy at a time. And, you know, with the Sweet Sorrow, it's not that hard, but with the Explosive Personality, it's just so easy to get to that Land Tank times 3 and get that 15-20% damage resistance in PvE. So really, really good weapon. And I mean, even in Crucible, an auto-loading wave frame grenade launcher can have its use. So this one, S plus Omega God tier. I think the Explosive Personality is like by far, it is the best of this set of weapons. If you can have one weapon from this entire set, if you can craft and level up and go after one weapon, I think it's the Explosive Personality. Not to mention, remember my spiel about, the Sweet Sorrow when you're going to be able to trigger arc elemental wells and stuff. Okay, the Explosive Personality, when Bungie makes Solar 3.0, is going to be literally broken, okay? It's going to be making solar wells so easily. And remember, you have the explosive well maker mod. So explosive weapons, which this counts as, make mods. So you can put on that and elemental armaments, and you're like spitting out solar wells. It's going to be insane when solar gets remade. Next up, however, we have the Peace of Mind Pulse Rifle. Okay, so all right, taking a look at this thing in the perks here. It is a rapid fire frame, 540 rounds per minute pulse, kinetic pulse. And we don't actually usually see rapid fire kinetics. Usually when we have a rapid fire, it is energy. So that's a little bit of an advantage right away. The perks are actually pretty good here too. You know, overflow. And it gets it right away. Like level 1, you can craft one with overflow. So you pick up special, and it has like a 42 round mag, or at least mine does. So you get like 80 rounds because of overflow. That's really, really good. Autoloading is okay. Stats for all, again, pretty easy to trigger, especially with a rapid fire frame. Perpetual motion and heating up for PvP. That's going to be very relevant. And in the second slot, you've got stuff like moving target, elemental capacitor for PvP bonuses, just massive increases to stats. Especially if you're walking around with like moving target, perpetual. Like, those go together pretty well. You're strafing pretty good there. So, elemental capacitor too if you're on stasis. Focus Fury, I like Focus Fury on like a sniper, where against a boss. Maybe you're going to trigger it, but honestly, Adrenaline Junkie is almost going to be more consistent to get that damage bonus. It goes up by smaller stacks, 6%, 12%, but, you know, every kill, you're getting that, and if you do get a grenade kill, it jumps up pretty darn fast. Vorpal for damage against bosses, and more relevant, it's going to be damage against Guardians and their super. And Harmony. This is actually a pretty decent Harmony thing. Like, if you're planning on using a powerful special weapon, you're using a sniper, using a shotgun, get a kill with that, especially a sniper. Like, get a pick with a sniper, you switch to this, it has harmony, and a harmony damage boost on a rapid fire frame. Pulse is gonna shred. So I think, like, PvE god roll is something like Overflow, Adrenaline Junkie, or Overflow, like maybe Focus Fury. I think mainly it's Overflow Adrenaline. And then for PvP, you know, Perpetual, Heating Up, Harmony, Adrenaline, Focus. Like, PvP, it's got really solid, saucy stuff. So where does it go? Where does it go? Because I don't know if it's A tier. I don't know if it's A tier, and that's because it's B tier. I'm going to put a B tier. Here's why. Like, you can do work with rapid fire pulses and PvP, but it's like, you could also be using a Fatebringer. You could also be using a Palindrome. You could also be using an Ias Luna and popping people from across the map. And if you just look at the statistics, the rapid fire frames, they're good. Like, people who like them really like them, but they just haven't broken into that top slot of the meta. And so that's why it's B tier. And also I'm going to rank it B tier because, like, it has decent PvE perks, but, like, compared to some of the other things, in my experience using it, I haven't found it to be as good as some of the other weapons here. And it's kinetic, so it doesn't have all the elemental well synergies and so on. So B tier. Okay, last weapon here. We have the Thoughtless Sniper Rifle. Now, this is a very interesting one. So, with the Thoughtless, you have a adaptive frame 90 rounds per minute sniper. That's the most common sniper frame, right in the middle of everything. The perks are very interesting. So, we have stuff like Overflow. You, like, never used to find the only other sniper in the game that could get Overflow previously was the Trials of the Nine one from the Prophecy Dungeon. Like, we're talking, like, this is a pretty rare perk here. And you're also getting Rapid Hit, right? That's also very good for PvE, just being able to dump out your shots and reload quickly. And then we have, in that second category, Focus Fury. So, importantly, like, if you're going to have this deal, like, half of the magazine as precision damage will give you weapon bonus. So, it actually doesn't count Overflow. So, if you have a 5-round magazine, right? Or, you know, if you get the perfect perks, you can have a 7-round magazine. I actually have this. I have a 7-round magazine. So if you get 4 of those shots precision, the whole thing becomes that 25% damage boost. Even if you're overflowed to 14 rounds, because it just counts the original magazine size. So that's a very good combo. But if you don't want to deal with Focus Fury, you go right to Firing Line. Just get that straight 20% damage increase when allies are nearby. So if you are sitting in a well, if you are DPSing a dungeon boss, a raid boss, and you've got a 14 round in the magazine, Overflow plus Firing Line, Thoughtless, you're just slapping. You're doing a ton of damage. And you can also, you know, it's interesting that it is stasis, so it can trigger headstone, and, you know, getting headshots with a sniper is not that hard to do. I'm not sure this is going to be viable. Like, no one's really using a sniper for ad clearing. I mean, you could now with headstone. It just should be mentioned as an option. Even in PvP, being able to get that stasis crystal can give you a lot of benefits. So the PvE rolls are very good. Overflow or Rapid Hit plus Firing Line or plus Focus Fury, very, very solid bonuses here for just damage output. Then for PvP, you've got stuff like Even Firmly Planted, Steady Hands, Perpetual Motion. All of those are good stat increases. And then you've got your choice of either Quick Draw or Snapshot sights. And so we've got some very, very good perks across the line for both aspects of the game. So where am I going to put this thing? Because it's interesting, like, it's like theoretically, it's like an Omega God tier, right? Like, this is where it theoretically would go. It's just that it isn't an Omega God tier, is it? Like, it's not. There's so many good PvP snipers, it's kind of hard to break out from the pack. And the Thoughtless is a good one. But is it better than the 1,000 Yard Stare, right? Like, is it better than like every sniper nowadays can get snapshot or quick draw, or in the 1,000 yards case, both. So it's really hard to break out of that pack in PvP. And in PvE, like, this thing has everything going for it, but no one's using it. It's like, if you're going to use a sniper, you use the Izanagi's Burden and you hot swap to the rocket launcher, right? You're not just like sitting there with a sniper shooting like crazy. And if you are, why wouldn't you use the Pradius, right? That can get rewind rounds and high impact reserves. And that's going to do more burst DPS than this thing. So it's just really hard to know where to put it. I think overall, I'm going to give it a B tier. I was thinking A, but I think it just fairly belongs in the B tier because, you know what? There's a lot of snipers with a lot of good god rolls. There really is. And just snipers, ever since they got nerfed back because we were using it too much in Garden of Salvation and they took away the 20% damage buff, they've kind of had a little bit of trouble kind of breaking into the PvE meta. And PvP, there's obviously issues with flinch, especially the flinch is insane in both aspects of the game. So I think with the current meta, a B tier rating is fair. So here's the rating. And as you can see, you know, obviously that explosive personality, I think it's by far the best one. Go for that one first. It only takes 3 deep sights to craft, which is fantastic. This is the one you should be leveling up. It's so good. A tier, I think the Sweet Sorrow and the Bow are both A tier. I think the Bow does drop down to a B tier as soon as the season is over, but like right now, because it's Void, there's just too many benefits. I can't rank it any lower than A tier. I think both of these two, the Sniper and the Pulse, are good at B tier. B tier is good, right? I think they're both good. And then way down here, you have the Machine Gun. It just doesn't have a place right now. Truthfully, it's more like a C or D tier compared to its perks, but there's just no reason to use it. Use the Funnel Web if you want to clear ads. That's all you need. So guys, that is it for this tier list. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see more, please support the video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content in general, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you guys want to keep up to date with the latest activity and get in touch with me, be sure to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.